Welcome to InQUEERY, presented by Peoria Proud. Our organization seeks to unify the community as a whole through advocacy, education, and social outreach. This series dives into topics that inform, inspire, and ignite community conversation. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so talk about gays and drama and being around for a while. You see a lot in that amount of time.
I bet. Well, it's recording. I don't give you a warning.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I know you have editing powers. You have superpowers.
Yes. I have Nicole with me. Your last name?
Morrow.
Morrow. I knew that. Nicole wasn't like on the board when I joined Peoria Proud, but you've been involved with Peoria Proud for a long time. Like how?
Yeah, I started with the board in 2013. My original role with them was reviewing their bylaws.
Oh.
I worked with one of the co-founders, and I guess if you have a college degree, it's assumed that you might also be good at writing bylaws. And so that was kind of how I jumped in, and then started out as their secretary right after that.
You didn't even have like AI to help you do that.
No, thankfully Google and Ask Jeeves. No, it was after the Ask Jeeves days. It was after the Ask Jeeves days. He was so handsome. It's a shame he doesn't exist anymore.
I always thought that was. I remember, this is so off topic. I remember trying to get on Ask Jeeves as a kid, but I couldn't figure out how to spell Jeeves.
Okay, that's fair. I remember trying to do it early in the morning and like, oh, the dial-up noise will wake up my parents because it's so noisy. That was the era I grew up in.
I kind of just realized something I did wrong right over here. We'll edit this little spot out.
I trust your judgment 100%.
Anyway, we're back. Welcome to InQUEERY. But yeah, I've been involved. So you've been involved since 2013. Gosh, that's quite a while. Like, what did Peoria Proud look like back then? What kind of events were they doing compared to like how you see it happening nowadays?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a blast from the past. I should have done more homework prior to like coming in here to be like, oh, let me look through my old notes. Our biggest events, so we always have had the three pillars, right? Advocacy, education, and social outreach. That has been like in the original mission statement and carried throughout Peoria Proud's tenure. Our biggest focus really seemed like it was going to be on the education piece. InQUEERY was actually coined.
Oh my God, really?
Yes, in like 2015. So if you think about something that's been around for a long time.
Right.
So that was one of our original focuses. And at that time, marriage equality also was not.
That's right.
Was not in effect. And so we were doing a lot of education around like family protections and legal rights to kids, how to do adoptions. So we were doing a lot at that time. And then also a part of those advocacy efforts to like get that legislation passed. Just because again, like of that time frame.
And it really wasn't that long ago. Like people kind of forget sometimes like, oh, marriage is only like 11 years now, you know? It's like...
Yeah. Fun fact, I was married prior to that legalization, so we were a civil union. And then we had a 12-month period where we could do an upgrade, and it was for free. So like normally you would pay for a marriage certificate, but since we had paid for a like the civil license, you had a 12-month window that you could apply to then upgrade. So we called it upgrade day when we went and like converted our civil agreement into a marriage certificate.
I didn't even know that was all happening. I was a freshman in high school. Not high school, college.
Okay, I was like outside of that. I was like, I know you weren't on the board when I started, but that is really really making me feel it. I'm already having to do math thinking on how long I've been involved, and then you just say something like that. Just really.
So, Peoria Proud is quite like, what positions did you hold while? So you did the bylaws to begin with, but then it sounds like you.
And that was kind of advisory capacity. And then, so my first position was as the secretary, just because I took good notes. At that time, we were meeting in someone's living room.
Really?
Yeah, and the board I think had 5 people. From there, I think I've been the VP of business. I've been the president. And I think I was that twice.
I don't think I realized you were the president.
Yes, I had it before Trevor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah,
Also known as Miss Flo.
yes, yes. And then I think after that, I think that was when I retired. Maybe I was at large for a little bit. But yeah, so I floated through a little bit of
So
everything
everywhere.
except treasure, yeah, except
Okay.
math.
That's the one thing I never want to do. So hopefully it never has to fall into a lap
I'm
of someone who
super
doesn't.
happy when someone else is better at those things than I am.
And Jake seems to be really good at it. So
Yes, between that and just changes in how things can be done is so nice. Because I remember, like, again, trying to get people like, okay, all of us have to be at the bank at the same time to sign the papers, and yeah, it was such a thing.
yeah, that's it's. I didn't realize that inquiry was such an early conversation because now, so for a year I did the webinars for inquiry, and I'm changing it into a podcast. Was it like webinar set up back then? Was it in person?
It was all in person.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We do one of those a year now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't even think someone will correct me on this, but I don't even think we recorded it. I think
really?
yeah.
Oh, those would have been fun.
Yeah, one of my favorite. I guess we would have probably grouped it under education and inquiry. We were looking at like health disparities, and so we did something at the Frank Campbell Community Center. Multiple agencies open to the community, and it was just this like round table of like thinking through like areas of health that oftentimes LGBTQ people were excluded from or couldn't receive appropriate care. And it was just this like giant like brain dump of like where are these gaps
Yeah.
and who could potentially help fill them. But I just remember having so much participation. There was probably 35 people and rotating.
It's hard to get.
Yeah, I know, especially nowadays where everything's like, accessible online.
Yeah.
And everyone rotating through these different stations to like provide input. It was a really cool thing.
That's awesome. Like, it's really hard to get that many people like in a room together sometimes and just
Yeah.
do anything like that.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of fit in now with Peoria Proud? Because you seem to be involved still with like 10 plus years, and you're still like you're not on the board, but you're like still around all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a hard thing to like not be right. If you think about how much progress has been made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, wherever you want to start the line to where we are now.
Yeah.
There's still so much work to do. And I just like sometimes get that sense of overwhelmment of like, did I do enough, or am I playing the part that I could play?
Okay.
And so the advocacy piece that Peoria Proud still does in their work with Equality Illinois, that really still has my heart.
Yeah, and you were kind of like early with that, getting us involved with Equality Illinois.
When we first got that partnership going, Peoria was one of their very first downstate partners.
Is it really?
Yep. They had a lot of the Chicago partners that they have now.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Bloomington, Normal, and Peoria were kind of the kickoff downstate locations.
It seems crazy to think of that now, like Equality Illinois. You would just think it was automatic.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it was
with all that, and...
Yeah. It was a huge thing, like back then, to think about taking resources from Chicago and like making sure those got downstate, just because so much work was happening. Other than Chicago, Springfield was really kind of the other pivotal location in the state, because that's where legislatures would be. And so other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot. I mean, there were lots of orgs doing things, but there just wasn't that like extra lift and support with like an organization that has the capacity and the expertise to do so.
Was Equality Illinois started out of marriage equality? Is that what?
I think.
Am I familiar with? I know what they do.
I don't know if I know the origin story of Equality Illinois.
Viewers, do your own research.
I was just going to say, I feel like I should know how old they are, just because we just had their gala. I'm sure they said something.
I've never been to that. I didn't realize how big it was.
Oh, it's definitely an experience.
I think I
highly recommend.
Yeah.
If you need a good cry, you need to be inspired. You need a fire lit under you to like get motivated to do the work. Go to the Equality Illinois Gala.
Oh my gosh.
But most states have an entity like Equality Illinois that is providing support. How they do it is all different, but most states have one.
And I know you're pretty involved with our Pride Festival. I was doing like a little bit of research on that, and Peoria Proud hasn't been doing it that long, but I saw that like there was like a festival in like 2012 and stuff. It was some other organization, but
Yeah.
what was your first Pride Festival here in?
So I was the co-chair for the 2019 festival, which was Peoria Proud's
I didn't
first.
mention that one.
Yes, yeah.
That was his first Pride Fest here. Mine as well. My first date with my husband was at that Pride Fest. So we met each other
at Glen Oak Park.
I was like, let's go to this. Like, why not? Let's go to the Pride Fest. And then when you compare that festival to the one now, you're like, oh my gosh.
I know, because we were just happy, honestly, to pull that thing off. The story goes, I slept in my car that night because I was so nervous that I wouldn't wake up and like be on time to like, because we had vendors showing up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, if I don't show up at that time, like everything's going to be late. And I'm a late person already. So that doesn't help. So I slept in my car so that I was in the park just to make sure, like, okay, like, there's no way I'm going to miss this.
Oh my God. And how many people did you guys see at that one? Do you remember? Or?
Oh my gosh. If we had 2,000 people, I think it was probably about 2,000 people.
Okay, throughout the whole day.
Yeah, throughout the whole day. Yeah, and there's not the tech like there is now where the city is like counting footsteps and
I didn't realize they did that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's actually a little creepy. We don't have to talk about it on air if you don't want to.
I remember like ending my first Pride Fest, and they're like, oh, they gave us an estimate. I'm like, who gave us an estimate on how many people were there?
Okay, so did they tell you where and how they get it?
No, I was just like, don't want to know, but I want to know now.
Okay, I was gonna say if you don't want to know
right
now,
now.
have to talk about it. Yeah, so it actually uses cell phone pings. So everybody that enters in a location, they can like geolocate for an area and see how many people enter and exit a space, and also then track them to see what other locations nearby they go to. So when you talk about the economic impact of a festival, to say like, oh, like not only do people go to the festival, right, but they went to the farmer's market or they ate at Saffron or whatever they did. So once you're in an area, they can then track those pings to see where else you go, or maybe you stay in a hotel so they can see like, oh, and this is also a positive benefit of a festival is XYZ people came in from out of town and stayed overnight.
I had no idea that I could do that.
Yep. So anytime.
So put your phone in airplane mode if you don't want anyone to know you're
But
coming.
we might know you're here.
Yes.
No.
Yes. So don't do that unless you're hiding it. Yeah, because I remember like there was like a good amount of vendors at 2019, but like now it seems like that whole riverfront is full. Like,
yeah, I think we have usually, and I should know this because I'm the vendor sponsor chair.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
For the festival on the riverfront. But yeah, we have over 100 vendors every year, and I think Glen Oak Park, we might have been in the 40s maybe. But and again, we were just happy with being able to pull something off in 2019.
Well, you know, Pride Fest is kind of a little bit of ways away now because this is going to air in March. If someone wants to be a vendor, like, what do they do?
They can reach out on any of our socials, of course. Vendor support at peoriaproud.org is the email. So you're always welcome. Folks are always welcome to reach out that way. And then we should have some QRs and everything.
We should. We'll talk to marketing.
Yeah. And vendor sponsor meets.
Yes.
The night we're talking this through, the vendor sponsor meets this evening. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yes. So we'll have some requests, I'm sure, for your marketing committee.
I hope so. We've been talking about marketing a lot, and I'm excited.
I hear. Yes.
So this podcast is part of the marketing. So your little clips here get turned into short videos for TikTok.
Oh.
Anything that's funny.
That is probably going to be my only presence on TikTok. I am still like Patrick Star living under a rock.
Have you not downloaded it?
What, TikTok? No.
Really?
No TikTok, no Insta, no Snapchat. I told you I started this thing
now.
like is it?
I think I like only like.
Or it's now for like 8-year-olds.
Oh, maybe I don't use it.
I know Facebook's now for seniors, so I wasn't sure where.
I did notice that the parents took over.
Yes.
We should have just never left MySpace.
I can 100% agree with that, actually.
Like we coded our own
everything.
Like, try explaining that to an 8-year-old on Instagram. Like, how did we do that? I wasn't 8 on MySpace, but
yeah, I don't remember how old I was. I remember I had probably the best playlist of my life was on my MySpace because you could add your music to your thing.
So like, when someone goes to it, it's like playing your favorite song, and we really put our friends in their place back then.
Yeah,
like top 8. You gotta make Tom number one though, because you don't want to cause any trouble. So.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it though.
Does it exist at all?
I don't think so.
I hope it doesn't, because I don't.
I think I tried. I was so curious to see like what was important to me back then. And yeah, I don't think I could find even a domain to log into.
And we reminisce about it now, but we left it for Facebook.
Which again, we absolutely probably adored when it first got started. I mean, I remember creating albums and trying to move all my photos from MySpace into Facebook. Like, yeah, I remember it was a whole thing getting that.
Now it's like AI photographs of Santa Claus saving a cat out of a tree. Like,
yeah, I call it doom scrolling. I mean, between everything going on in the world and just the amount of random and unnecessary content, I'm just like, okay, maybe like 5 to 7 minutes just for fun.
I think it's the only way I know people's birthdays, though.
That's fact.
But if any viewer wants actually a really good trick, so we all add those Facebook friends that you met at like Diesel one night, and you added them on Facebook.
Of course.
You know the easiest way to clean up your Facebook?
Do tell.
Every single day, go check on whose birthday it is, and if you do not care about them, delete them.
Okay.
On their birthday, that day. And it takes a year. In 1 year, your Facebook will be clean and perfect. So just look at the birthdays. If you don't care about that person, I don't know. If you can't call them up on the phone, delete them.
To like actually tell them happy birthday.
Well, yeah, maybe you should do it before you delete them.
That is so interesting too, though, to think like the timeline, right? Because like we set so many arbitrary goals for ourselves of like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing or lose these pounds or whatever. But like that is a very like finite, like this will only take you 12 months and you will accomplish it.
Yeah. And it's like maybe
2 minutes a day.
There'll be weeks you won't delete anyone.
Yeah.
You want to check the birthdays all the time anyway. It tells you whose birthday it is every day.
Yeah.
So
literally.
If you don't check Facebook every day, you're lying. Just feel like they're lying. If you don't have it on your phone, maybe. But I feel like
I know very few people who don't have it on their phone, even if they don't use it as their primary social media.
But most people check it every day. They have to. I work primarily with people in nursing homes, and Facebook is like.
Do they love it?
You know how like Facebook was originally started for like college students? You had to have your college ID and stuff.
Yeah.
But now, and they built community that way. But now I'm realizing these like nursing homes that have like 150 people in it, they're meeting people that also live in their same retirement community on Facebook. So it's kind of like back to its roots.
That is adorable, but for a different like age population.
I know one facility that posts like what activities are happening
like for the day or
because
for that week.
They know everybody is sitting in their rooms on Facebook, like keeping up with their grandkids.
Oh my gosh. See, now that makes me love Facebook. Like, maybe that dates me, but like that makes me love Facebook so much if that is how it gets repurposed.
And it's like maybe a new way to look at it. Like if you got like a grandma that's still alive and you don't post on Facebook anymore.
She might be like literally thinking you are like having a crisis or just sad that she doesn't get to see you.
The thing is, I see these people like go to their grandkids' Facebooks just to scroll on it specifically.
Because
like, they haven't posted.
Right, but we don't call people anymore, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, my mom, when she goes out of town, bless her heart, she will, she only has one surviving parent. And when she's going like out of state for a trip or something, she will text me and be like, I'm out of town. Please make sure you call your pap. Because typically she calls multiple times a week just to say hello. And she's like, but she has to ask. And the fact that she has to ask versus like, oh, she already knows I'm doing it. And then, yeah, so just
because like if you're like grandparent, like if their parents or grandparents aren't toxic and you want to talk to them, they're waiting for your phone call.
They literally are.
And this is so off topic, but something I love about that generation, I have my Aunt Cindy, and I hope she's watching.
Hi, Aunt Cindy.
She's one of those people, and it's that generation where you can just show up to her house and sit down and have coffee. And I noticed that like their friends do that. Like my parents' age group, they like show up at people's houses. But I'm also saying right now as a millennial, do not show up at my house without
I also think
notice.
I'm like, I don't think I care for that. I would hope I would be gracious, but I honestly couldn't tell you how I would be if someone showed up.
It has to be a special friend.
Sometimes even when I get a phone call that I'm like maybe not anticipating, and it sounds terrible, but like there's some phone calls you look at the name and you're just like, not right now.
Not right now.
Let alone if they were on my porch.
Exactly. I wonder how they got into that. Maybe the phones weren't invented yet.
I mean, right, like, but truly, or you left your house and you don't have a phone with you because it's attached to your wall.
I didn't think of it that way. You're out and about, you're in front of your friend's house. Oh, let's just say hi.
Yeah. You can't call, you can't text, or be like, oh, hey, I'm in the neighborhood.
Like, not everyone could afford a pigeon. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Or maybe you could afford a dumb pigeon.
I'm actually not convinced that was ever a real thing.
I think they said in the war, right?
Like, so they actually used to take a pigeon and put a note on it, and the pigeon would fly and deliver it somewhere?
That's what I feel like I've heard. I almost don't want to debunk it, though. It's kind of quaint.
I don't know if it's real.
I don't know if pigeons are smart enough. But I've seen some gangster pigeons, like in the street, like in Chicago. Like, those pigeons don't care. You can walk, like, right next to them, and they're like, whatever. That food's in the middle of the road. Cars coming, don't care.
Well, I've heard things, too, like, apparently, like, we abandoned pigeons, and now they, like, need humans to live because we domesticated them.
Because we, like,
Because we use them for carrier pigeoning. So it must be real. It must have happened.
I just always assumed birds were just loved human food. Like, flying dogs in essence, where they're like, people food, bread.
I think it's because we ruined their habitat.
I mean,
that's like the only...
that is hard to argue.
I do remember they, like, in Bloomington, I grew up in Bloomington, there was this huge campaign, do not feed the birds bread, it's bad for them.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, the birds are starving now.
Please. Like, we're going to gently remove these signs and then hopefully
just go
start. Were you in Bloomington at the time? Do you remember the goose that laid its eggs outside of... What was the name of that store? All of them are now closed.
Kmart? No. Making stores up that closed.
Boardmans. The Gordmans?
Yes!
Yes. Do you remember the goose that laid her eggs in, like, it was one of their, like, planters and it
terrorized everyone.
Yes. But there were so many people campaigning, like, don't touch her. Don't move her. Like, there was so many people that were, like, pro goose.
Oh, yeah. It was like the goose wars.
Right. But there was so many other people who were like, she's literally chasing everyone. Because they're too close to her.
Maybe that's why they're out of business now.
Because the Bloomington goose.
Supposed to associate that goose in their subconscious. Like, that goose is like there.
And has just ruined the whole franchise.
Oh my gosh.
So you were in Bloomington at that time.
Oh yeah. And actually I did this program called MCLP. It's a multicultural leadership program. Oh. And they assign you a mentor. But you have to give some guidelines on what kind of mentor you want.
Okay. So based on your future career goals, or what do you feel like you want to learn?
I was like, well, not many people do my type of business that I do for work, so they're not going to find me that kind of mentor, and I don't want them because competition. But I was like, I just give me a good entrepreneur. So they gave me her name's Vicky, and she owns Fox and Hounds in Bloomington.
Oh.
Amazing woman.
Yes, because that's a salon, day spa, products.
Yeah, so they massages and nails, everything. Shout out to Fox and Hounds.
I've heard their commercials so many times on the radio, but I'm trying to think if I've ever stepped.
This isn't sponsored, but it could be.
No. Coming in
April.
April.
To all business owners.
Right. April, still looking for sponsorship.
But no, the goose laid eggs on the roof of her house, and it was one of those flat roofs, and it was horrifying because.
I would be worried that there's the sunlight and you're gonna bake the eggs.
I don't know what she ended up having to do, but yeah, one of those geese or gooses. I think we should call them gooses and not geese.
I think I heard one on a comedian. He called them geesin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he added en to plurals.
I actually have one on my front porch.
A goose? Oh, one of the classic greenstone goose.
Yeah, it gets a different outfit for every season.
And you actually do the outfits.
Yeah, even though I broke its neck, I was moving it in the middle of the winter, and its entire neck fell off.
Which has its head attached.
So they're taped on now. I have to find a new goose, but I'm emotionally attached to this concrete goose now.
Okay, so now you just have to find outfits that hide the duct tape.
Yeah.
So
right now it's a big part for Valentine's Day. Okay. Yeah. Wait, no, that's over now. I need a new outfit. St. Patty's Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little shepherd.
Shout out also, St. Patrick's Day is the elections. So please, either before you go out, if you're going out, or if you need a ride, make your Uber driver take you to a polling place and make sure you vote.
And Hadaway Transport, a local company, does not charge people if you need a ride to go vote, and we are completely wheelchair accessible. I've heard of this company, and they're really good, apparently.
Well, and Illinois, you can vote anywhere. You do not have to vote based on your address. You might have a recommendation, of the closest polling place to you, but you can vote anywhere.
And we had Chris on earlier.
Sure.
And he, if you're like 17, like right now, or like you're going to be 18 by the election, you can vote in the primary.
Oh, as long as you'll be 18 by November.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I did not either.
So, and
I love that.
Your vote in the primary almost matters more than the other one because you're picking who.
Well, I mean,
wants.
if Chris talked at all about like local elections, they've been won by less than 5 votes on multiple occasions.
Mayor Rita when she was running on
lost by 1 for council.
Oh, that would have made me so mad.
Yeah, lost by.
And you know she had like 2 friends that like forgot to go out and vote that day, and they had to sit up with her at dinner, like. Oh, yeah. I vote.
like I did. Like, let me find a sticker. Let me find a sticker. Someone let me borrow your sticker.
Oh my gosh, I would have been mortified. To sum up your interview here,
oh my god, it's all over the place. Protect the geese, everywhere. Right. Protect the geese. Go vote.
Other than Pride Festival, what is your favorite event Peoria Proud does throughout the year?
Oh,
you can't say Pride Fest.
Okay.
You could say Pride.
I honestly do though. Anything advocacy related. I love the town hall.
Oh,
yeah. Anything with advocacy. I love our participation and the rallies that we've hosted on multiple occasions as things have come up related to like police relations, Snow Kings, like anything that we are partnering with someone on. That doesn't narrow it down at all whatsoever. So I guess you could say the town hall. I love getting to grill people who are going to be representing us. And I feel like we see a different kind of people sometimes attend that town hall, and it is still like in person. And like my like age self just loves like getting to like bump elbows with people. And
last question. This is it. This podcast is over. You have to give 16-year-old Nicole advice. What would you tell her? You have like 30 seconds before you get spun back into the universe.
Okay. 16-year-old Nicole had her very first girlfriend. Oh. And we were so careful and so cautious. So I think maybe just to live with a little less caution. Stick your neck out there a little more.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I realized sooner. No one's gonna like remember what you were doing in high school.
Right.
And you know what's actually funny? I made a post on Facebook saying that once. No one's gonna remember the dumb stuff you did in high school.
Oh,
but you know what?
You have some people post about the dumb things you did in high school.
People started commenting, and I'm like, I will say it on the podcast in hopes that whoever my enemy was, sophomore year of high school, hears this, and that they know that I will find them someday. So my name is Todd Northcutt.
My name's Nicole Morrow.
Do you know what my yearbook said?
No.
Todd Northbutt. And to end this, thanks for coming on InQUEERY. Join us next time. I believe after you, we're having Joel Shoemaker, who wrote a few books, and he's like a magician.
Okay. I'm glad to go before Joel, just simply because his rap sheet is so good of the things that he's involved in. So I'm like, oh, great. Like, that's good. That's a good person to go.
And we're going to love to have
him. And not after. Yeah.
And remember, like, vote.
Yes.
Don't care what people think about you. What other takeaways? Call your grandma.
Yes.
And delete people on their birthday.
Love that.
Thanks for tuning in to InQUEERY Teach-In Series, presented by Peoria Proud. If you're interested in presenting or have a topic you'd like us to consider, reach out on our website or social media. We'll see you next time.